Your video game collection is about to crash, and I'm going to prove it to you. How you guys doing today? So today, I wanted to show you that your game collection is about to crash, and if you're buying games right now for some of these prices, you're making a huge mistake financially. So, what do we have here? I have a bunch of games I'm going to show you that are outrageous right now. We'll go over those really quick, and then I'm going to show you, and yes, I do have proof here, I'm going to show you that these games are going to crash. And I personally feel like it's going to happen soon. Now, whether they're going to happen soon or not, I have no idea. But I personally feel like they will. And I will show you some evidence that could lead to that, actually. So for starters, we have Fire Emblem Path of Radiance. One I like to crap on all the time because of how stupidly priced it is. So, we start off in 2009. I'm using complete and box prices for disc games, by the way. And I'm going to use loose prices for cartridge-only games, by the way. Anyway, sorry to digress like that. Anyway, so we saw this game was a modest $35. And then I'm going to call the period of 2012 to 2013 the big video game boom. Because that's when a lot of these prices really started to get outrageous for a lot of these games. So this game was a modest $30 to $40. And then 2012, 2013 hit, and boom, $88. And what did it do after that? It crashed. For a little while, actually. Basically a year. And then, boom, it increased again. And what did it do? It crashed. It crashed like 20, 30 bucks. Now we're in this period where GameCube, Wii, PS2, N64 are the hot items. People are really wanting those games now because they're nostalgic and people grew up with them. Me included. I have a lot of GameCube games. There's not many more left that I'm really after, but there are those few GameCube games that I am after. So we see that actually held about $100 for quite a few years. And then, boom, all of a sudden it's going back up again in 2018, but it's still not too bad. Then out of nowhere, it rose. And it really rose. But then we get to the pandemic and $235. Now, we'll make this one be a long one. We'll go to the other ones pretty quick. Why do I feel like this happened? People who usually work are on unemployment. Unemployment is paying a lot more, so people have a lot more money to burn, which I don't know why anyone who knows anything about finances would do that. You'd think you'd want to save one of that money or do something more valuable with it, like, I don't know, put in something that's actually going to make you some money in return, like stocks. If you guys want to see that, I can show you that, like, right now that my stocks are like fluctuating way more than games, but guess what? I've made way more money with stocks than I have with video games. It's crazy. Anyway, as you can see, it is at a ridiculous all-time high, and I personally feel like this won't hold. But before we show you why, let's go over just a few more games real quick. Alright, with Super Mario Sunshine. This game was always around a modest 15 to 20 bucks. It may have fluctuated from time to time, but it's about what it was. Then we hit the big gaming boom of 2012 and 2013, and now it's a $30 game. But guess what? It crashed. Then it went back up a little bit. Then it really went up. Then guess what happened again? It crashed. And we can see that this pattern happened a lot. But then it seemed to stay around the $30 range. And it'd spike up, then go back down. Probably something in the news. I'm not going to go back to every one of these dates to see why this game could have went up and down. But then we get to here, which I like to call it, I guess we'll call it 2019 boom. And then we get the pandemic boom, where now this game is around $70. All right. Now, I remember GameStop could not give this game away. Metroid Prime was... I got it for less than $5 at GameStop when they were liquidating their GameCube games. But, you can see the 2013 boom happened, and now it's a $10 game. And that's about where it stayed. It rose up to about 15 bucks a couple times, but it stayed about 10 bucks until around 2017, where it then started to stay around 15 bucks. But you can see it just went up and down around that $10 to $15 range. And then 2019 happens, and now it's a $25 game. Let's look at another one I like to crap on all the time. Rule Rose. Again, looks like this game couldn't really be given away. I mean, it was more expensive than some. Yeah, $45 for a PS2 game back in 2012 was kind of ridiculous. But you can see it was about $100. It spiked up a bit. And then just one day, it goes from 120, I should say 1 month. 1 month, it goes from 120 to 182. But guess what? It went back down to 150. It dropped $30. And this game was in always a steady increase, but it increased and it would drop down. Increase and drop down. Then we get to the 2018-2019 period, and there we have it, around $300. And it would spike up from time to time, but it would crash back down. And before the pandemic, you know, it was actually $285. But then it spiked up to $404. All right, we'll go through 2 more, and then I will show you why all these games I'm showing you are going to crash, and they're going to crash hard. Dot Hack Part 4. Look at this. This was about the price of a brand new game, because after taxes, brand new games were like $64 or whatever in 2012. But then it boosted up. Now it's an $80 game. But it went back down a bit. Oh, sorry. $80-some, $100, then it went back down to $90. But then this game constantly stayed around about $100. Then, for some reason, it just, boom, 150, then right back down to 104. Look at that. $100, $150, $100. I wonder if something like that's going to happen in the future. Anyway, let's continue. But then it went back up a little bit, and then it hung around $130 to $140 for a very, very long time. It boosted back up a little bit here and there, but then it went down. It got back down to about $130, $120. And then we get to the 2019 boom, and it goes up again. But look at this. It went back down. And then we get to the pandemic. So what do you think is going to happen in 6 months to a year when all this is over? No, seriously, leave a comment down below and tell me what you think is going to happen in 6 months to a year to all these inflated game prices. Alright, last one, and I wanted to show you large evidence of why this is probably most likely going to crash. Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door. Fantastic game, by the way. Not a fantastic price right now. This game had always been about a $30 game, $30, $35. In fact, it was actually pretty low in the 2012 boom. But anyway, let's just take it around $30. And it stayed consistently. It boomed from time to time. There it went up to 40. But then, look at that. It hit $50, but it went back down. It went back down to about that $35 price tag. And as we keep going, yes, it does go up some, but it doesn't go up substantially until our next big inflation boom to a whopping $117. I'm sorry, guys. I think that's ridiculous. All right, so after all that I showed you, you may be thinking, oh man, my collection's rocking right now. My games are worth $120, $130. I got all these fantastic games. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, you either need to do one of 2 things. Keep them because you like them, because you like collecting games, you like playing them, which is what I'm going to do with mine, or you need to sell them, and you need to sell them now. Because I don't see them going up in price like this again until there's another world event or something where a bunch of people in the world are getting excess amounts of money, and then they don't know what to do with it except buy video games instead of food or stuff they need. Alright, so let's look at one that I remember getting back in the day. Secret of Mana. You can see this game was about $30. Then we hit 2012, and look at that, $46. $54 in 2013. And it crashed again, as always, but it seemed to stay around that $40 price tag, give or take. But then it stayed around $45. I mean, it really went up there. Look at that, $61. But what did it do? It crashed, and it kept crashing, and it kept crashing. It spiked once, but it kept crashing, and this game crashed hard. Now, we get right back to before the pandemic. It was a $30 game. I remember I was an idiot, and I bought it somewhere around the $50 area. I think I got mine for like $40 because the back label was worn, but now it was a $30 game before the pandemic. Now it's a $37 game. But before the pandemic, it was $30. What do you think is going to happen after the pandemic? Is it going to stay here at $40? No, it's not. You know what's going to happen? It's going to go back down to 30, and it might go even lower after that. I don't know, but I can tell you that it's not going to stay at that $40 to $37 price tag. It's already going back down. You guys want to see another one? Let's look at another one. Final Fantasy 3 for the Super Nintendo, or Final Fantasy 6, one of the best Final Fantasies, although that title goes to 9. Anyway, before we get a debate going in the comments, you can see this game was about $30. We had a boom in 2010, actually, which I think that's the first one I've shown you. But it went back down, and it stayed around $30 until the 2012-2013 game boom. And then it started going up. 42, 45, but as you see, it went up a lot, then it crashed back down. And that's happened a lot with these games. But it just kept steadily going up and up a little bit, and it was about $50 at the time. Actually, it looks like it peaked around $55. Now, after that, what did it do? It started crashing, and it kept crashing, and it kept crashing, and it got down to $32 about a year and a half, about 2 years ago. Like a year and 10 months. It got down to $32. And yes, it did go up again, almost to 50, but it crashed hard again. And about before the pandemic, this was about a $35 to $40 game. I mean, after the pandemic, it hit 55, but look at that. It's already going back down to 50. Already. The reason these GameCube games and PS2 games are so expensive because the people who grew up playing them are now adults, and they want those games. Yes, I understand that. I want those games too. But just look at the history. They're going to crash. There's no debating it. They are going to crash. Your collection is going to go down. If you're buying for the sole sake of like the price tag, you need to get rid of them and then wait a couple years and buy them back. Let's look at another one. Super Metroid, which is honestly one of the best Super Nintendo games. Anyway, so this game, about $20 to $25. Then we hit the game boom 2012. It's about a $30 game. Then it goes up to about $46. Wow, that over doubled in price in just a couple months. Huh? Isn't that similar to what's going on right now? But what did it do? It crashed. It didn't crash all the way back down, but it crashed back to 31. So it went up like doubled in price, but it lost like 50% of that. And then it just stayed steadily around that until it went back up a little bit. Then it crashed again. Then it went back up a little bit and crashed again. And then it peaked at $60 in 2015. What's it done since then? It has been on a slow decline. Yeah, it has some peaks here and there, but as you can see, it just kept slowly declining. Now, with the Link to the Past. This game is kind of all over the place, but it's kind of the same thing. A $10 to $15, maybe $20 game here and there at times, but about a $15 game. Then, well, actually this happened in 2011, but end of 2011, so we'll go 2012. It spiked, and it kept spiking, but it just kept going everywhere. But then it peaked around, on it peaked, but it got to about $33. Then it crashed, Then it crashed, 25. And it kept going down, almost back to that $20 price tag. I mean, it's not 15, but down to a $20 price tag. And then it went back up a little bit. Then it crashed, and it crashed further. Then it spiked back up again. Then it crashed again. But you can see it peaked around almost $40, and then it crashed hard at the $24. And it's just been on a constant, like, down slope ever since then. Look at that. At one point, it got back down to like the 2009 price, $16.35 versus like 15. Yeah. And we keep looking and looking, and look at that. Just I don't know, a little over half a year ago, it was $16.33. And then, or that's around the Christmas time, so you can expect something to boom around Christmas time. That's probably what a lot of these little spikes are. But it even leveled out around 20 bucks. And then, you know, the pandemic, and it got about 27 bucks or so. And you know what's going to happen after this? It's going to go back down to that $20 price tag, or maybe even back down to that $16 or $15 price tag. A lot of these games I'm showing you aren't rare. They're just expensive. Metroid Prime is a very common game. Yeah, it's 25 bucks. Mario Sunshine, it's not that expensive, or I'm sorry, it's not that rare. It just baffles me so much how these prices are. All right, got a few more games to show you, then we'll call it good for there. Conker's Bad Fur Day. I remember when this was all the rage like 5 years ago. And it goes to show, look at the same pattern. It was about a $30 game, maybe 40 here or there. And then 2012 hits, and then it's like a $50 game, $60 game, $70 game. Then it crashed back to $57. It went from like $78 to $57. Huh. And then again, it's around November, it's going to go up for Christmas. And then it kind of just kept going up. And then it hit $96. But you want to know what it did after that? It crashed. And it kept crashing. And it kept crashing. And it kept crashing. It even got down to 53 bucks again. Then it spiked back up. But guess what? It went back down. And it just seemed to level off around 50 to 60 bucks. And then, of course, you know how the story goes. Pandemic, boom, $89 for whatever reason. But again, look at this. It just crashed so hard. But I guess the pandemic money is like, you know, just buy whatever you want. I don't give a crap what price it is. I'd rather pay a premium than wait a little bit and get it cheaper. All right, Mega Man 5. It was about $20 game. No one really wanted it. Then 2012 happens and it just starts slowly going up. Slowly going up. Actually, this game consistently kept going up till about 2016, where it hit about $100. And then what did it do after that? It crashed. And it kept crashing. And it crashed hard. And it got down to like 69. Ooh, 69 bucks. Okay, about that. Sorry, stupid joke, guys. Anyway, it kept crashing, and now it leveled out around $70. In fact, it was still going down until pandemic mode, where people again were just giving money away to get this game. And it baffles me, it really does, but people really want stuff like this for whatever reasons. Alright, and the last game I'm going to show you is Earthbound. Oops, I didn't click it right. Earthbound! And as you can see here, no one really gave a crap about it. I guess they gave more craps, 80 bucks. And then 2012 hits. Oh, actually 2010 it hit 165 for whatever reason. But what did it do after that? It crashed. Back down to $100. It crashed like 60 bucks. And then it just seemed to like stay around 100 to maybe 120. Then it went up in 2012, in 2013. And it got around the $200 area. And it just kept staying there for a bit. But then it went down. And it just kept staying about the 150 area, give or take a little bit. Then it went back up a little bit, and it leveled off for a while, 192. But as you can see, it just started slowly going down. And it kept going down till about Christmas of last year. And from there, it bounced back up because, you know, Christmas, people want to buy stuff. But it started going back down to the pre-Christmas price. To like, what, 160. That's definitely not $200. But what happened after that? Oh, pandemic. It's now $232 for whatever reason. And you want to know what's going to happen to this one? Because it's already happening. It's probably going to start going down again. It baffles me how much people do this. So I hope I showed you guys something that you can think about for a little bit. That's the point of this. Think about before you buy. Do you really, truly think these prices are going to stay that high? Because I don't think they are. I think it's going to stay that high for a little bit. Maybe a couple more months, if that. But once the unemployment stops, the stimulus checks stop, the world gets back to normal, these prices are going to sink. And if you bought these for the sole sake of flipping them, if you don't sell them now, you are going to be stuck with them and you're going to hit a huge loss. So I hope you guys took something out of this. If you don't like these prices, don't buy them. Seriously, that's the best way to say I don't want to pay these prices. It's just don't buy them. How am I still buying games for my collection? I'm just not buying as many. I'm waiting for sales. I'm watching stuff on eBay. When I find one that's pre-pandemic money, then I buy it. You know, if I saw Earthbound on eBay for $160, would I buy it? Probably not, to be honest. But I definitely consider it, considering it's versus $232, which people are being nuts and spending. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. If you like this video, please leave a like down below. It really does help out a lot. If you know anyone who would like to hear all this information and hear me blabber on for a bit, share it. It really does help out a lot. And until the next one, subscribe if you want to see more gaming stuff and market analyst and all that crap. I'm huge into like the gaming analyst, and I like to go over the stuff. Anyway, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye.